If you propose to a girl and wear her an engagement ring, you, the man, should also wear your own engagement ring. Do you want a wedding or a marriage? I believe that's a question everybody should ask their spouse. How can two people are involved in a thing and two of you have not agreed, then you call the whole world and propose to the person? Does it make sense?
At least paint some kind of scenario and ask, like, what would you say if I asked you to marry me? Let's
Hi everyone! Welcome to OKEY'S Love Channel.
We're here to enlighten lives and uplift souls with our love story.
Because God is love and love is God. So when you have love, you have God.
So today we are going to be talking about
the proposal. Whenever you say the proposal, a lot of things comes to people's mind, like flowers, balloons, proper location and all that. Very expensive restaurant and a lot of things. A lot of people will disagree with me on this, but believe you me, marriage starts from the proposal. So proposal is not something you take lightly.
That is what God explained to us during our process, in our journey. What did he explain to us?
He unveiled it to us.
Yes.
So literally, marriage starts from when you ask your partner, will you marry me? And your partner says, yes, I will marry you. That is when marriage starts.
However,
every other thing is a ceremony. Because can two work together except they agree? That is why proposals are very important.
I think I also have another perspective. What about if it's a marriage that both people agree on, but God does not agree on it? Then what? That
means the two people in question does not even have God to start with. Because if you have a relationship with God, I've said it in our previous videos, there should be and there must be a way that God communicates with every one of us. Discover your own way. It could be giving you peace with someone. But with that being said, please, God gave Adam Eve, and Adam ended up saying, the woman you gave to me. So fast forward, God said, he that finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So that is why self-awareness is very important in everyone's life. Know who you are, know your values, know what you want. That is how and the only way you could know who you can spend the rest of your life with. Don't go into marriage with the ideology of divorce. Oh, when I don't want again, I bail out. That is not what marriage is all about. And if you really don't know what you want, how would you get what you want? So it starts by knowing what you want. And when you finally have what you want, like I see a lot of ladies, I've seen a lot of videos online where they ask some relationship, some ladies that has been in a long-term relationship, and they're like, why are you not married? Then they say, ask him. You see why I said the proposal is very important in marriage? Because that proposal starts with the two of you being alone first before taking it public. Sometimes I laugh at some guys. It's good to do surprises, but believe you me, if you're proposing to a girl and she's surprised about it, that she does not even know or she was not even expecting your proposal, sorry to say, but I will flag that relationship red. That's a red flag.
Yeah, you guys should be able to talk about it before it even happens.
Exactly.
At least paint some kind of scenario and ask, like, what would you say if I asked you to marry me? Let's start a conversation about that, right?
Yes, because proposal, your partner should be expecting the proposal. she should be expecting the proposal.
She might not know the exact date or
Yeah.
time, but at least you guys have had a conversation, right?
And if the ring, proposal must not be a ring. Don't get it all wrong. Some of us think that proposals are diamond ring and gold rings and all that. But believe you me, proposal is you asking your spouse, will you marry me? Ask those questions. Do you want to spend the rest of your life with me? Not am I the kind of person. Personalize that question.
Yeah.
How can you be in a relationship that has no future? In the context I'm saying is, when you know that everything about your life is already aligned, your finance, your mental state, your personality, and you want to get married.
And you're that's what I was gonna say. You're looking towards marriage, because there's a lot of people that are just young and they're just dating and in relationships and stuff, and they're just learning with life as they go. And so like it's not everyone's like okay and ready to get married right now, right? I mean, we always would advise that you at least seek someone that you can marry
And wants
and want to what?
to get married.
Yeah, and someone that wants to get married, exactly. But if you're at that stage in your life where you're just having a good time and dating, you know, that's between you and God. But if you're at a point where you're like, I'm ready for marriage, that's where his perspective comes into play, right?
Then just find someone that is in that level of dating. Don't waste anybody's time. If you just want to date around, date people who also want to date around. If you want to get married, get together with people who also want to get married. See, every relationship should have a vision.
Yeah.
So if your vision as a lady is to get married and you're in that relationship that the guy doesn't want to get married, see, that is where the proposal comes in. Don't wait for him to pop up the ring. Ask him. Ask him. It's a regular question. It's a checkup question. It's like a good morning question in every relationship. Where are we going with this relationship? And every time he answers you, please tick that box and take the reply serious. Some of us just think, just like a lot of people that think that, oh, if we get married, it will change. Nobody changes in marriage. Marriage is not a trophy. It's a process of life. If they've lived 30 years of their life, 20 years of their life, being that, saying yes to their proposal or marrying them in a day, in a day ceremony, like some of us think that marriage is a ceremony, will not change the person. Will not change 30 years of their mental states. It won't change it. So we should all know that. So back to proposal and our own story when it comes to proposal. I have proposed to my wife a lot of time, and she said yes before I popped the ring. And that is the literal way it should be in every marriage-driven relationship. Please, popping ring is not a thing of surprise. Oh, I never expected it. Are you okay? If you pop a ring to a girl and she said, I never expected it, that she advise you as a guy to run for your life, that means she's not ready for marriage. Don't force people to. Marriage is not something you shock someone into or you surprise someone into. No, it's a deliberate journey. Marriage is a journey. It doesn't have a destination.
So what you're saying is, if a girl is surprised about being proposed to, then that means she's not ready, or what are you saying?
That means the guy did not prep the girl.
Okay.
There should be a prepping.
Okay.
Confirm, not even know, confirm that you and her are on the same page on this.
Yeah, okay.
How can two people are involved in the thing and two of you have not agreed, then you call the whole world and propose to the person? Does it make sense?
Because people could just get it wrong because you said, if she's surprised, so that's why I wanted you to clarify that a bit.
Okay, that's why I said she has to be expectant of it.
Yeah.
You can't just come and surprise her and she's like, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of girls who have been fixed into a situation of saying yes because of the crowd and because of the work that the guy puts in.
Yeah.
All those things are ceremonial. They're not part of the journey. It's just like the discussion I normally have with my wife. And I always ask her, so do you want a wedding or a marriage? I believe that's a question everybody should ask their spouse. Be you male, be you female. Yes, you're married, your wedding ceremony is a ceremony. Listen, there's only the ceremony there. It's just like childbirth. the child has already been born. So what you are calling people around for is for them to celebrate with you, not for them to decide if the child will be born. The child has already been born. So we are calling them to come and celebrate the birth of the child. And you will not call them when you are raising the child as well. You alone will raise the child alone. So we should understand that context and bring it into marriage and the topic of today, which is proposal. And that's why I said that marriage starts from proposal, because proposal is that very first process of agreement to agree. A lot of people, when you say proposal, they are always talking about, I have heard people say, you shouldn't kneel down and propose, you shouldn't stand up and propose, you shouldn't jump up and propose, you should sit and propose. All those things, like I said, is still ceremony. The culture over time has made it that it looks like the girl is the one being infused into the man's world, which is a westernized culture though. That is the girl that is coming into the man's world, because it's the girl that will bear the man's son name and the rest of it. So the man goes on his knee and it's like pleading with her, because I wouldn't say begging. You can't beg for love. It has to be. That's why I said the agreement has been happened. The agreements must have taken place. Forget about who is proposing, who is asking. There must have been an agreement. There must be an existing agreement before the proposal. And then you ask, will you marry me? And then she says, yes, I will. Then you give her the ring. That's the bond. It's bonded. And that brings me to, if you propose to a girl and wear her an engagement ring, you, the man, should also wear your own engagement ring. In fact, the new law that should be passed is, when you are buying engagement ring, which was what I did, I bought two. One for myself, one for my wife. So when I proposed to her in church, because I planned proposing to her on my birthday, which we planned having on the beach. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll take her to a restaurant. The ideas came to my head. But the Lord ministered unto me and said, I am the founder, I am the Alpha of marriage. So start your marriage, my son, in the presence of my people, in the congregation of my people, and in my building, which was the church. And when I heard it, it sounded strange to me, because I've never seen that before. Believe you me, I started seeing proposal in church after I did mine. So I obeyed the Lord, and it was on a Wednesday service. But before this event, I've asked my wife over time, even when we're still in the process of the long distance relationship, I've asked her a lot of times, sweet, you know me too well now, at least you know me from the things I've told you about myself. We've had deep conversations, and you know me to a certain level. If I asked you to marry me, would you marry me? I kept on asking that question, and with time, she started saying yes, yes. And I kept on insisting, search your heart very well. With the little you know me, can you marry me? She kept on saying yes. I even went as far as saying, if you come back to Nigeria and I propose to you, what would you do? She said she's scared of it, though. Nobody has proposed to her before. But if it's me, she will say yes and take the ring. Good. We continued on that journey till the day that God, when I had my own plan, then God gave me a better plan, which is proposing to her in the church. And I remember that very day I knelt down and I said, there is no other way, I can't forget my words, there is no other way to do this if not in the presence of God's people. I love you, Ife Oluwa. Will you marry me? And she said,
yes.
Good. And that was the day the journey started. So every other journey, every other process from there is now the journey and the movement of marriage. And I call it journey of no return. And journey of, there's no destination. It's a lifetime process. You walk in it all through your life. So that's why you have to be very careful who you say yes to. Yes, it's not a careless thing. That's why I said you can't just be surprised. Oh, he surprised me. Why are you surprising? For marriage is not a surprising thing. It's not a surprising place. It's a journey. Marriage is far more than the wedding. All those things are ceremony. They are ceremony. Marriage is more of a commitment. Marriage is a determined decision.
My husband has pretty much said it all. When it comes down to proposing as a woman, because I know that a lot of women are waiting for a man to bring up that conversation so they don't sound desperate. But if it's something that you are interested in and you want something more of like a journey with this man, I would say that you should bring it up at any time and start the conversation as early as possible. For us, we were on a journey together. We weren't even dating or in a relationship. We were like more doing a long distance courtship where we asked ourselves a lot of questions. We talked about our lives, our history, our friends, family. We talked about a lot of things, what we would do in marriage, what our vision for marriage is. You know, we courted, you know, and it was a process. Even if it was short, we had all the time to prepare for it before we even met each other because we were going on a journey with God already. But we talked about all of these things. So when my husband brought it up, I was kind of okay with it at the time, even if I was scared. But I appreciated the fact that that's where he was looking at, and that's what he wanted. And so it was easier for me to like welcome that idea with him, and also knowing his character and seeing how he treated family and all of those things that made me say yes. So my point here is, as a woman, you don't need to wait for 5 years, 3 years, 10 years to be having that conversation. Once you know for a fact that, okay, this is the man that I want to spend my life with, or at least there's a possibility, then have that conversation, open the doors for that conversation and hear the man out, and then you decide whether you want to continue to stay in that relationship or whether you want to leave it based off of your conversation. But please don't wait for a man, because some women just spend like 10 years in a relationship waiting for marriage, and you know, sometimes even having kids. And you know, I just feel like it's better if you just have those conversations earlier on, so that you don't stay so long in a commitment that you're not sure where it's going. Right? What do you think about that?
Oh, you're right. To summarize what my wife just said, marriage is a deliberate decision. The same thing with proposal. See, you don't stay in a relationship and then hope. Let me hope and wait and see if this will lead to this. No, it's a deliberate decision. So you have to be with someone who is deliberate about his decision making towards marriage, or towards being married, or towards being in marriage.
Awesome. So stay tuned to our next videos. We're really happy to be having these types of conversations with everyone, and I hope you really learn something and grow in your journey with Christ and in your journey with yourself. So remember to
like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button. And don't forget to stay tuned to Ife and OKEY'S Love Channel. We love you, and God bless you.